Welcome back to Croquet in the good old US of A. East Coast this time, sandwiched between Pinehurst and southern North Carolina and Macy White's Chesapeake Bay Croquet Club in Northern Virginia. We find an exciting new venue, the Albemarle Croquet Club in northern North Carolina. Charles II bequeathed large parts of this territory to the Duke of Albemarle in the 17th century, and there are references all over. Thomas Jefferson's Monticello is in Albemarle County, Virginia. There's an Albemarle City in North Carolina. The Croquet Club is in Belvidere, North Carolina. It's on the property of Adam Lassiter, and they call it Albemarle Croquet at Doodle Hill because Doodle Hill was the name of the Lassiter family farm. They're hosting the USCA Southeast Regional American Rules Tournament in May of 2023. I think their first big event because this is their first season. Danny Huneycutt is the tournament director. Adam Lassiter is the tournament manager, and this was very much a family affair. Brian Hovis does the video and drone work. And I want to thank specifically our generous sponsors, Chris Barley and Stuart Price. We are, of course, the official YouTube channel of the USCA, our primary sponsor. Check it out, sign up, and join us on the lawn. Just think how good you could get if you had that in your backyard. Not to mention the huge concentration of championship flight players that live in North Carolina. It is a lot of work, though.
See, wherever you're going to be, right?
Yeah.
I never know from one game or one shot to the next.
I'll tell you just because I told you something else that I haven't told. My thing didn't work out.
Yeah.
This is a championship flight semifinal match between Rodney Lassiter playing blue and black, handicap of -1. The uncle of Adam Lassiter, on whose property this fabulous new facility resides, and the guy who got the Lassiter family going in organized croquet. He's taking on a giant in American and international croquet, for that matter, Danny Huneycutt, who's also from North Carolina. Handicap is -3.5. Danny may have been at -4 at one point. He was the first to get to either -3.5 or -4, whatever it was. Currently, Ben Rothman leads the pack at -4.5, and there's 7 players with Danny at -3.5. I'm guessing corner 4.
What did you get last night?
Steak.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Fulfilling the obligation of the elite player to entertain us, Danny's going to try a Chernobyl if Rodney lets him get away with it. Black comes in and joins up with blue. Then Danny will put yellow in the jaws. If they stay in the corner, he'll then shoot at those corner balls with red. Leave black in corner 1. Send blue to hoop 2. And then get red wired by hoop 1 from black in the corner, so that when yellow comes in, it'll be able to roquet red and have a 3-ball break. And feeling no obligation to entertain us, Rodney refuses to take the bait. Rodney knows that when you play Danny Huneycutt, it's eat or be eaten. And he is more than up to the challenge. You can tell this is a family-oriented sports complex.
Come on, Rod, get up there. Get straight.
What is it? It's pretty good, that ambient sound. It's not picking up. It's a Zoom. It's a Zoom microphone, so.
Fairly aggressive, but well done attack. Blue is now dead on opponent. Red does have a shot on yellow out in the middle of the lawn, though.
Oh, no.
Technically, that should lose him the game. But stick around and you'll see he does a much better job on a very similar shot later in this contest.
It was a sudden stop. Yeah. That was way back in. Rodney's going to be not going away.
I've never seen my Rodney move so fast.
Yeah, it's done pretty exciting. Yeah, it's about running over to get me back. Bad job. I felt pretty good. I knew my back clean and straight, so I thought I had a chance. Holy shit. Yep. Danny. He's excited. Adam just went through rover. We started like at 11:15. Yeah, I saw him moving around pretty good a while ago, and I saw 3 balls in play. Yeah, yellow's not in the game yet. So what did Mike do to give him the ball? The red ball was at wicket 2. Yeah. I wonder why red was at wicket 2. I saw Adam knock red out of wicket 2 and then.
He's got a really good rush over toward that hoop 3 Pioneer. Otherwise, he probably would have tapped yellow, sent it to 4, and gotten red involved in the break as a pivot ball. As it is, he's going to do a 3-ball break for 2 or 3 hoops before he ever bothers to incorporate red.
Danny, this is my first cousin on the other side of my family.
How you doing? Doing good. How about you? Doing fine.
My dad and Adam's dad are brothers. My mom and his mom are sisters.
Oh, cool.
He's an expert golf croquet player.
Nice.
The golf croquet tournament will be September 7th.
Okay. Cody, this is the man, the myth, the legend that I'm talking about. Dan
I've heard the name. Oh, he says more. So, well, that is just one I was trying to get.
This is the semifinal.
Which game?
Mike's the reigning North Carolina state champion. Yeah. And Dan, and then the winners of those two games.
Didn't help me get started.
It'll be wild for him.
Good. You really don't have to. I think it's good.
Pretty sure it's Jenna, Anderson, through. I think the East capital. Jenna, Anderson, capital E. Yes, I think so. I know Jenna is not affected.
Just occurred to me that there's the Lassiter in every video we're posting from this tournament, and deservedly so. They built the lawn, they get top billing.
Is that just red cliff on the street?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there's the black top.
He ran a 3-ball break for 3 hoops before ever bothering to incorporate red, which Danny gifted to him as a pivot ball. But he is handling placement of the 2-back Pioneer in the modern fashion, doing it right after he makes 5, so it's done from a short distance. The additional incentive in AC for doing that is having your partner as your 2-back Pioneer makes both the diagonal spread and a new standard leave easier. And now, finally, he can use red as an escape ball. He probably had that in mind the whole way around.
Gatorade out of the cooler. Long shot. Makes it an attack. You never think Mike is finished.
There are so many ways to do the unhittable leave that this may just be a matter of personal preference, but the fact that he's using the spent ball, which blue is going to need, as the pioneer at 1 back, lets it then naturally fall into place as the pioneer at 3 back and then penult. And that configuration makes it easier to set the leave without getting last dead on partner. Now, the fly in the ointment here, of course, is that blue is dead on opponent, so his priorities will be different. Let's see how it plays out.
He called this 419. Tip 419 grass. No, tip 4. It used to be 328. The original. It was 328. Came back so good last year.
You guys have more relatives?
Elaine is Mike's wife. She's a big Seahawks fan. So we talk about our Russell Wilson a lot. Cody's
Yeah, I took a picture of the family tree.
He's not on that one. That's the Elmer family. We would have to put the Billy Pierce family.
Yeah.
And it would be just as big. Bigger, actually. My mom, they had 4.
Just like my family. It's huge.
When's the last time you went out west to do this?
Well, I have relatives in Hawaii.
Okay. That's way west.
4 years ago. It was just too far away. But my kids and grandkids all live in Washington State. Except my granddaughter lives in Charleston. But they'll be probably moving to Chesapeake.
Okay.
He's in the Coast Guard. So
You should go to a little facility. One of the
and
biggest
they have a
big
good friend that lives there.
It might be because you think it is the base coast.
Yeah, there's a base there because I said I met that couple at my granddaughter's wedding. And I told my granddaughter, tell them to come watch this Croquet tournament, but they were busy.
It's not a desire of location. It's easy to describe. There's a lot of people in there station and they just so many responsibilities. Contract back out with it. brought him down to the and before he was gone. I had one shot.
At this point, I would ordinarily send red to Pinot and then use blue as the rover pioneer after making 4 bag. But because of blue's deadness, he's focused on getting blue in front of 2 as soon as he can, so he's going to use the spent ball as the pioneer at rover instead.
Told Josh, flop makes tacos.
Rodney is fully aware that the essence of the unhittable leave is to leave the opponent with nothing but a 100-foot shot on a boundary ball. That's what makes it unhittable. But because of blue's deadness, he wants to make sure that blue can make hoop 2 to start the second break to the peg. He's going to put it in front of hoop 2. I think he might have been better off to put it on the boundary and then give it a rush on black. It's going to be a sitting duck out there.
So we have Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Virginia, and West Virginia. Oh, so 8.
In my case, they were given a little assistance. They just
don't say anything, but likes cancers. So there's second treatment on Tuesday and has no, they don't. But hopefully this will we have he's had 2 so far, every Tuesday. So he's delayed his knee surgery.
Will he try to cannon yellow out of the way?
Which good thing is that just keep telling him, hey, at least you're not. Venice.
There's one component of the good lead. Yellow's a fur piece from hoop 2.
Get ready to play. At least the flies are here today. Flies and ants are vicious.
Now he's going to send red to pioneer position at hoop 3 for blue's break. And he's not going to get it wired from that distance, and Danny's probably not going to shoot at it anyway, because if he shoots at red and misses, then blue has a 4-ball break.
Attention not to shoot at you. Roger, don't slow down.
He could actually maybe even force Danny to shoot at red, because now black could roquet blue and either put it near the boundary or wired from yellow behind hoop 2 with a nice rush on black to hoop 2. Yes, that would make black 3-ball dead and last dead on partner when it finally gets clean. But leaving these 2 balls out here, even as a single target, gives Danny a shorter shot. He can hit with pace because there's no danger of knocking a boundary ball out of bounds, and it makes the yellow ball harder to pick up after blue makes 2 should Danny miss.
Oh, happy. Thank you, Dan. Yep.
Well, it's fully dead, but it's the last ball.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
He's pointing out that as long as there's more than 1 ball in black's row, that half designation on red just tells you that's the last ball that the rover ball hit. Red is not yet last dead until it's the only ball in that row, and then that means that as soon as black roquets anything else, it's clean on red.
Yes.
A picture is worth way more than 1,000 words. Now here Danny's been known to not take the break with yellow, but set it up for red so that when red gets to peg, it can peg out black, the danger ball. And then there's no ball to take the shot at the unhittable lead.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it might be wrong on red.
Except yellow and red have no breaks. You can't pull a wire unless they put you there. And you're dead.
if he were going to do that handoff, he'd probably do it now. Send black over toward red. Go to blue and put it in corner one and join back up around hoop 3. But not today. He's going to run the break with yellow. And notice that he's incorporating the blue ball as a pivot ball in his 4-ball break right away, because it just makes for more precise play and gives you something to fall back on if you run into trouble. And he is not happy having to hit that kind of hoop shot. One of the first things everybody has to learn not to forget is the clearance they get when the opponent makes one back. The next level in that evolution is don't forget that when you make one back, your opponent gets a clearance. So even though blue and black have a lot of deadness, Danny knows that especially if he pegs out black, blue will be clean.
My son uses my glasses for
Clearing black.
Tucson. They've been going to the dentist. They've been going to the dentist
I mean, why do you have to do those kind of shots?
He's doing a takeoff instead of a split shot here because he needs a good rush on the four-back Pioneer. He can always come back and get black. Yeah, didn't quite get what he wanted. He's going to leave black here, getting ready for the peg out. But why he took off from the left side, maybe to leave enough room around the peg so he can get from penult to rover without any hindrance. At his level, everything he does has a purpose. For instance, red is for hoop 2, so why is he going to park red so far from hoop 2? That's because if he put yellow and red near hoop 2, that's also blue's hoop, and if blue hits in, blue's got a break. So he's putting red as far away as he can. He's going to peg out black, which will put him down by one hoop, but there's 30 minutes left in this game, which is plenty of time for the 2-on-1 game to come together for him. So his priority here is not to set a break for himself, but to minimize blue's chances of getting anything going. This next befits a former U.S. Rules national champion. He did that on purpose because now, instead of the one shot he would have had he roqueted black and then croqueted into the peg, he puts his ball 9 inches from the peg and he has 2 shots to either peg out or, in this case, to get clean, which he would not have been able to do had he pegged black out on a croquet shot. The rules are not there just to restrict your freedom. They're tools to use if you know them well. Black in the box just means it's out of the game, having scored its 13 points. Rodney's now up by 1 with his blue ball against Danny's red and yellow.
Make sure your partner, make sure your opponent hears it.
Thank you.
And I never heard the words, but I'm going to assume that Rodney took the one back clearance for blue.
But I can see that would have given everything to you. Again, the 4th ball again. I just couldn't do that. So I was a little bit lucky. I really don't. I don't. It's the yellow's going.
Yeah, let me help you, Mark. Black's out of the game, so I can just whack him off.
Yep, and I'm last dead on black.
Does that matter if black's out of the game?
It does, because that means I can hit any other ball. Was that what you did? Was that yellow? Yeah. Yeah, and then I clear. Okay, because if it was blue, I couldn't hit blue first. Okay.
And if you want to learn how to play the rover game, stay tuned. So join up with the peg ball, and because black's in the box, Danny gets to play yellow right after red every time. And blue's a sitting duck, no matter what it does. Although, and think this through for yourself to see if you agree, the single ball that follows the peg ball is slightly less vulnerable than if it follows the ball that has hoops to make, because the peg ball can never set a leave for its partner. One of the implications of that, of course, is this could go on for a while. So the peg ball clears the single ball away from any hoop shot possibility, gets clean, and joins up either now or in the next turn, depending on blue's deadness. He's now last dead on blue, which means as soon as he roquets red, he's live on blue again. The rover game basically brings the game to a screeching halt. And again, keeping them separate so that if blue hits, he can't get a break. And since Rodney's ahead by a hoop, he doesn't need to shoot, at this point anyway.
Well, he would have tried to kill me anyway. He put out
I had a chance that if he had missed it, I could have went to the third and he would have done a shot. That was not. You did about 12. You did about 12. I think you got to leave it. I think you could have got it further away. That's okay.
Danny can't afford to get Blue anything resembling a break, so he's not going to take a risky shot on Blue's hoop with Blue sitting right there. And again, the half ball designation on Blue means that's just the last ball that he hit, and he can't get clean without making a hoop.
Dead on both, right, Danny?
Huh?
Dead on both, right?
Yeah, last dead on blue.
He will be last dead on Blue after he makes a hoop. And now that red and yellow are already joined up, Rodney can't set up in front of red's hoop because red will just come get a break on it. It would have been easier to set this rush for red right where it is, but because he's going to be putting yellow out on the lawn a foot or two, I think he's trying to get hoop 5 between Blue and his balls. He's ahead. There was no way he was trying to shoot that hoop. He's just trying to guard hoop 2 from Danny. And that I'm not sure about. Red's wired from Blue, but it's also not rushable to 3, so that if Rodney gets lucky and roquets yellow, he won't get an easy break out of it anyway. Blue's not going to shoot anyway because if he misses, yellow just makes the hoop, roquets red, gets rid of Blue, and sets a nice rush for red to hoop 2.
Yeah.
Get on the play, Rodney.
No, black.
Black side's the game.
Rodney may be trying to keep red and yellow from joining up with that shot. But what it is going to do is allow red and yellow to get together in corner 2 close to red's hoop. One of the things Danny's thinking is that when you join up in a corner, make sure that if the opponent shoots and misses, it costs him the game. That way they won't shoot. only the striker can call a player timeout or a timeout for ball retrieval. The striker's turn ends when all the balls either stop rolling or go out of bounds. What that means is you can't hit your own ball out of bounds and then call a timeout for ball retrieval. Only a striker who's behind has any incentive to do that. So now Rodney's no longer the striker, so he can't call that timeout for ball replacement, which the rule book says in the last 15 minutes, tournament directors frequently make it the last 10 minutes.
Timeout to place the ball, Danny?
No,
We're inside 15 minutes.
it's 10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay. 15 minutes. Blue.
The player has to ask for it.
Don't give him hints.
Yep, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Pointing out that even if you are eligible to call timeout for ball replacement, you cannot ask the timekeeper to do it automatically. You have to ask for it each time. So if you're playing me and you're down by a hoop or two, you're calling timeout for ball replacement frequently, because the way I walk, I can burn a lot of time chasing balls that I hit out of bounds. First time red and yellow have been ahead in this game.
Yellow's dead on red also. Thank you.
And last dead on blue. Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, he will be last out on blue once he gets clean by going through any wicket and in either direction. The pattern of the rover game is the same whether the opponent has one or two balls. You join up with partner, and then the rover either gives partner a rush or Roquet's partner goes and messes with the opponent, gets clean, and comes back to partner. But if you've pegged out one of the opponent balls, it's a lot easier to keep them under control.
That one hurt.
Did he forget that he put yellow there so he could get it clean? Or did he not want to take the chance of stuffing the hoop, not joining up, and allowing blue to set up? You tell me.
No chance. He's got a chance.
Oh, I thought he had
Between
it.
them. Between
I
them.
thought
Close.
he
It
had
was.
it.
If he'd have caught that right side of yellow,
I know.
that would have been
That'd
good.
been perfect.
Missed by the proverbial coat of paint.
Good try, Rodney.
Look close, Rodney.
Yes.
I hit stop.
It looked like
Hit the sky.
How much time? 4:40.
And now he is entitled to call timeout for ball replacement.
It's the purpose to make me hit. Go.
Wow.
I don't call timeout.
3:42.
And that's a personal timeout, which lasts a minute, and each player gets 3.
Announce it so your playing partner can hit.
Yeah.
Whole point.
we don't have COVID. They must have.
Hey.
Yeah.
I want to watch. You can
Okay.
watch it, Danny. Hey,
All right.
Danny.
Stop the clock.
3:18.
Now, this is a referee's timeout. So he's not charged with a personal timeout for that. And it's a little weird to have your opponent do this, but Danny is the tournament director and by orders of magnitude the most experienced player on the premises. So just shows how much they trust each other.
It was clean.
Rodney doesn't have to tell him, and you're not allowed to.
Danny, you did on that ball.
You are.
Oh, I am. You're right.
Well,
That's why I put it back there so I can clear.
and you never did. You never shot it.
Change it.
1:43
Okay.
on the timeout. Does time start on the strike of blue?
It was. Yeah.
3 ball
It was more like that.
So it starts on the strike of blue.
I had the right thing in my mind
Over
when
there.
I rolled it up.
Over there. You were set and you knocked it right off.
Hold on.
You did it.
1:35. Red ball's clear, right?
Yeah.
Red ball's clear.
I thought I rolled the two up there. I did.
This could be a game winner if he hits, and those balls are close enough together to be a functional double target from that distance, meaning he should shoot between them rather than at one or the other.
Big trouble.
It's really a function of his critical distance, and I wish I could find Leo Nakora's analysis of that, which he did when he was at the Maui Croquet Club over 20 years ago.
He got it.
Oh,
jeez. Okay. What kind of time we got?
1:25.
Oh, we're down to 2 balls, too?
Game time. Blue court. First last with red.
Blue has a hoop shot, so this is worth doing, and he's putting yellow next to the peg in the same shot. Making darn sure that he doesn't put red where it's wired from blue by the peg.
Yeah.
And now, last ball and last turns, last chance.
Thank you.
And while he's setting up, give us a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and thanks again to our sponsors, Chris Barley and Stuart Price, and the United States Croquet Association.
Yeah, he twisted his mouth.
Thank you, John. Wherever you are.
So, superb break play by both players, a fascinating 2-on-1 game, and Danny Huneycutt prevails to meet Rodney's nephew Adam in the finals.